even though that we saw that 1% interest rate increase, and we can fully expect another half or 0.75% to happen, the feedback I'm getting from buyers right now is they're not concerned about that, okay? I think people have already assumed that this is gonna happen, and I think the savvy shoppers out there have adjusted to this already. Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker. So we're just at the end of August right now, 2022, and I just want to kind of put out a little bit of what I think is going to happen in this fall market and just kind of ending off 2022. In order for us to kind of obviously project forward, we're going to kind of go backwards a little bit first. So one thing I did look at now is that, as a lot of you guys know, is I track inventory just about every morning, and I look through my own numbers right now, and the way that I've looked at them, it really looks like we actually went through almost a normal real estate market. So what would a normal real estate market look like throughout the whole year? Basically, we would start the inventory off somewhere a little bit in the lower end of things. Starting in February, we would start the inventory to pick up. Likely that inventory would continue to pick up until like March, April-ish. Then you'll start to see a bit of a cool down in the number of new listings coming up. And then towards kind of like June, you'll really see it kind of put the brakes on the new listings coming up. And then through July and August, you would see the inventory start to chew down. So the inventory levels would actually come down. And that's to the T of what we've actually seen this year for 2022. You guys are gonna see a chart up here, and these are the numbers that I've recorded myself. So February, in that month over there, we basically saw Toronto Real Estate Board come up like 39% in terms of inventory, and Durham came up about 50% in what they had in terms of inventory, okay? Just in that 1 month. And then if we look at the next 3 months, so if we're looking from March to basically the end of May, we saw another 50% come up, but that's 3 months. In February, we basically almost saw the same number for Durham, but in that 3-month period, we saw it come up another 50%. And then what we saw in June was the inventory really started to come down. Not come down, but it didn't increase as heavily, okay? So we only saw like another 3% increase in Toronto Real Estate Board, and we saw less than 2% increase in overall in Durham. And then what we saw is, again, tied to a perfect real estate cycle. July and August, we basically saw the inventory start to come down. So from the beginning of July to where we're kind of at towards the end of August right now, we saw the inventory throughout the Toronto Real Estate Board come down about 11%, and in Durham we saw it come down about 12% or 11% as well. I personally think what's going to end up happening is that probably a week or so after our Labor Day holiday, we're probably going to see more listings come onto the market. So kind of around that week of September 12th, I think, we're going to start to see more listings come onto the market. I think we'll probably see a good chunk of listings come up in the last 3 weeks of September and the first 3 weeks of October. And then I think we'll start to kind of see that little bit of a cool down, not so heavy number of listings, kind of what we saw in June. And then what we'll probably start to see in December is that inventory will start to ease off a little bit. I don't know if we'll quite land at where we are at right now. We're roughly around like 14,400 throughout Toronto Real Estate Board. I suspect we'll probably land somewhere around there, maybe 15,000. That's my guess. I think we can probably go as high as 17,500, 18,000 listings coming onto the market, but I think we'll probably end up somewhere around 14 or 15,000 towards the end of the year. There is a variable over here as well as we look at this. The Bank of Canada is going to increase the interest probably September 7th. There's been a lot of speculation of it doing 0.75%, and some people have even said maybe another 1% increase. We saw some news that started to come out that says that inflation estimates were actually on the lower end for July, but I'm not sure if that's really something that a lot more people are traveling, so our consumption is down. I'm not sure how that was seasonally adjusted to come up with that information. But at the same time, I think that what's been happening with us anyways is that I think they really want to stop this inflation and don't want to take any more chances with it. So my guess is that they're probably going to do a 0.75%, even though we've seen a little bit more of a positive news. I think they're still going to stick that 0.75, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they even go to that extra 1%. But I think, and I could be wrong, I think at that point they're going to stop it, depending on obviously what happens, because I think that will kind of cool down a lot of things. The one interesting thing I want to point out over here to you guys, and what I have been seeing, is even though that we saw that 1% interest rate increase, and we can fully expect another half or 0.75% to happen, the feedback I'm getting from buyers right now is they're not concerned about that, okay? I think people have already assumed that this is going to happen, and I think the savvy shoppers out there have adjusted attested to this already. I think in their opinion, it's great that if they can lock into a property that they like and get that little bit of a break on that interest rate, but those people are still moving forward. They factored it into their calculation. The people that we're talking to and working with, they're not stretching themselves and going to their max. If their approval was 900K, they're sticking around the 750 numbers. So they are factoring all these things. And guess what? From the indication I get, they're going to continue to purchase. That leads me to telling you guys this. After doing this for a long time and talking to different people and seeing what their perspectives are, one of the things I'm realizing right now is that, yeah, we have a stock market, a currency market, a housing market, and they're all different kinds of markets, and they move based on, so many external factors. But there is one crazy factor that I find about the housing market, which is humans. And humans have emotions. And their emotions, as we already know, are not logical. And we have a desire in North America to own real estate. So I think that regardless of what kind of happens in the market, if somebody's gonna purchase real estate, they're gonna purchase real estate. If they could afford the 900 before, they're gonna scale it down and buy 750. Some of them still might buy the 900, and I don't think that's a great idea, but someone might buy that 750. And here's the other proof in it, okay? So basically in July and August, on an average in Toronto real estate board, we see like around 5,000 transactions happening. And that's kind of what we saw in July as well, okay? July, the number was 4912 throughout the Toronto real estate board, okay? So we're basically at 5,000. Right now, as we said, basically 1 week left in August, we're seeing the inventory level being 3810. On average, it's 150 listings per day that are actually selling. So if we round up that number, predict it out, we're gonna see 48 to 4,900 sales in August as well. I don't personally think it's all doom and gloom. I know I've received some comments in there and saying you're crazy, don't encourage people. But the point of these videos is not to encourage people, because people out there I know are gonna buy real estate. We see it happening already. So I know some realtors have left comments as well, which is cool. I appreciate them. And they're telling me they're looking at the same information I am, but I'm also looking at the fact that we're having 150 transactions every single day happen in Toronto real estate board in the months that are supposed to be slow. So these transactions are gonna happen. I personally think that we're going to see more of a stable market moving forward. And I think that there are going to be opportunities, maybe not for everybody, but there's two that distinctively come to mind right now. First-time home buyers where they were not able to touch anything in March and April or like February and March kind of thing. I think that they're going to have opportunities, and I feel that they're getting a little bit more comfortable with taking these opportunities on. And another one is people that wanted to kind of move up. Like maybe they have a townhouse, they want to buy a detached property. I think they're actually going to come ahead in a situation like this. Hope you guys found this informational, and if you did, do me a favor here. Like it, share it with your friends, subscribe, because we have awesome content coming up. And I always love to hear what you guys have to say about these videos and what your opinion is about the market. Nobody has a crystal ball, so please feel free to share what you think is going to happen, and I look forward to reading it. Until next time, guys, remember one thing, get Cabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.